Okay, comrades. I think all of you can hear me now. So we are starting the webinar. Uh, I request Comrade General Secretary to welcome all the participants in this meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Comrade President. At the outset, I would like to express our gratitude to Comrade Vijoo Krishnan, who, in spite of his so many responsibilities, and of course, now also his health is not good, his throat is sore. So anyway, uh, instantly he agreed to address this webinar on this issue. So it's a very great moment for all of us. Secondly, being the General Secretary of All India Kisan Sabha, I would also express our revolutionary greetings to him because being the largest contingent of the Sanjukta Kisan Morcha since last 5 years, starting from 26 November 2020, a history has been made in the country for jointly moving by the workers and farmers. I think this necessity, of course, was felt very long ago, but historically, it has been materialized. And since 26 November 2020, braving the COVID-19, the workers went on for a historical general strike. And the day was started by the farmers storming to Delhi for their historic achievement by sacrificing more than 900 peasant farmers. They have achieved a historical achievement by forcing the mighty government to repeal the farm laws. So anyway, this has been history now, and we have to go forward because the government is on rampage. So far as BFI is concerned, I think that this is a very required move for us because we all know that BFI, though predominantly our membership is from public sector banks, but of course BFI is comprised not only public sector banks, we have members in private banks, foreign banks, regional rural banks, they are affiliates, they are our affiliates. There are affiliates in Reserve Bank of India, NABARD, regional rural banks, and of course, cooperative banking sector. We are having members in 7-8 states, and 5,000 members we are having. And we all know that the onslaughts that is being done on the banking sector, most attack is on the cooperative banking sector. And when we are discussing about the farmers, when we are discussing about the labor codes, which was surreptitiously and of course very cunningly passed during 2020 times, and that and since the Ministry of Cooperation at the behest of the Government of India started to operation on 6 July 2021, there has been several changes in laws, particularly to corporatize and commercialize the cooperatives, cooperative and cooperative banking. So we have been, from day one, we have been trying to highlight, though not to the extent that was expected by us. And it was only BFI who opposed this Banking Amendment Act 2000. On cooperative exclusive, we observed several demand days. On cooperative, we also held a parliament march also some years ago. So definitely it is our responsibility of every comrade who are associated with BFI to be aware of these onslaughts on the cooperative sector that we all know. So today it is not my responsibility to talk at length. We know that yesterday the government has already passed in Lok Sabha the insurance amendment bill with some nomenclature, allowing 100% FDI in insurance. Now in banking, so there are so many contemplations of so many changes that is being pursued by the government of India. Now tomorrow there will be countrywide protest demonstration by the unions, national federations in banks and insurance. 4 union insurance and 5 unions of BFI will be in the protest and tomorrow. So every of this contemplation of the government what can I say, to change the financial sector as per their whims, that should be opposed by all of us. So today we are meeting in the webinar on the cooperative, that is National Cooperation Policy 2025. It is an attack on the democracy, and the government relentlessly is attacking the federal character of the constitution, particularly as we know that cooperative is a state subject, but disregarding the state governments with any consultation. They are trying to change the whole concept of the cooperative. So this is also very important for all of us to be aware of the situation, to focus on this issue, and develop our own sectoral, our own bank-wise issues. We have to rise to progress so that we can resist this government. This resistance is there. It is not so that by passing a law, by enacting some in the parliament, everything will be bulldozed, and it will be streets only. We have to oppose this government, and the government has to encounter us on the streets. So that is, streets are for us. So that is very, very important for all of us to be united and oppose the policies of the government. So without much taking of much time, I will also again thankful to Comrade Vijoo Krishnan that despite his busy schedule, he has been consented to address this webinar. So I think that this will be a very great occasion for us, and it will enrich us to be aware of the situation, of course, to ascertain our path in the coming days, particularly in the of cooperative banking sector, to set our goal. Over to you, Comrade.
Okay, Comrade Debashish, thank you very much. Good evening, comrades. As you all know, as per the decision taken in our General Council meeting held at Jaipur on 22nd and 23rd November 2025, we are here to attend this webinar on the subject of National Cooperation Policy 2025. Actually, as explained by Comrade Debashish, cooperative sector under our constitution, I think as per the 7th schedule, it comes under state laws. However, the announced policy is viewed as a threat to the democratic and autonomous character of our cooperative banking sector. It appears that the union government, they are trying to bring the cooperative sector under their control. Not only that, they want to hand over our cooperative sector to the corporates. That is the real policy of the union government. I'm not taking much time. Recently, I think yesterday, I don't know whether it is yesterday, anyhow, I saw a report that a report examining the evolution and role of cooperative sector in the state of Kerala was released by Comrade Professor Prabhat Patnaik. That study, it was prepared jointly by P. Sundaraya Memorial Trust and Tricontinental Institute for Social Research. See, according to that study, even in a state of Kerala, the small state of Kerala, more than 16,000 registered cooperative societies are operating. The study highlights many things. The decisive role played by the cooperatives in weakening the grip of landlords, money lenders in rural Kerala. The report details the growth of that ULCCS, Uralungal Labor Contract Cooperative Society, which grew from a small collective of construction workers into Asia's largest workers' cooperative. That report, it also covers Dinesh Bidi. I think that Dinesh Bidi Society was formed earlier. And even Kudumbasri, even though it is not registered as a society, everything is detailed in that report. And if we go through that report, we can understand why the union government is trying to bring the cooperative sector in our country to their control. If I'm not taking much time, what I want to say is the study was authored by Comrade Vijoo Krishnan and others. including Vijay Prashad, Nidish J, Villat, Ashwati, Rebecca, many eminent personalities were there. So, comrades, anyhow, as explained by our General Secretary, Comrade Debashish, we are very happy and we are very proud that Comrade Vijoo Krishnan is with us today. So, without taking much time, I now invite Comrade Vijoo Krishnan to talk on the subject, National Cooperation Policy 2025. Over to you, Comrade Vijoo Krishnan. Comrade.
Yes. Comrade Anil, Comrade Devashish, and other comrades. Firstly, I would like to thank the BEFI for giving this opportunity to speak on a very important topic today, on a sector that is facing a big attack by the union government led by the BJP. Before beginning my talk on this particular topic, I would also like to, on behalf of the All India Kisan Sabha, place our gratitude and appreciation of the efforts of the Bank Employees Federation of India to support us in the historic Kisan struggle that happened between November 2020 and November 2021, when the BJP government was forced to bend down on its knees and withdraw the three farm acts. I think your support also played a big role in the success of this movement. BEFI, as well as other workers, also played a big role in helping us in terms of financial contributions, in terms of numerous programs held across the country in solidarity with this protest. I extend my gratitude for this. Dear comrades, like Comrade Debashish mentioned, this has been designated as the International Year of Cooperatives. And the United Nations and other international fora have felt have understanding the importance of the cooperatives, have mentioned, have decided to observe it as an International Year of Cooperatives. The International Alliance of the Cooperatives also, they have also taken a role in ensuring that this is in a big way held across the globe. So it is very fitting that today we are talking about the issue of cooperatives. And in India, we also have the National Cooperation Plan policy, which has come under the BJP-led NDA government. So it is very fitting that we are talking about these issues today. And I would like to place a bit about our own experience as far as cooperatives are concerned, and the kind of attacks that are coming in now, and what are the claims of the BJP government and Amit Shah. That also is something to be countered. Today, when they are having a Ministry of Cooperation, the big boast of the BJP government and the RSS and others is that it is for the first time that a Ministry of Cooperation has been set up, and it's only the BJP which has taken given such an importance to cooperatives. I think we have to point out that from the very beginning, after independence, from the first plan onwards, the emphasis on cooperatives is there. And if I am right, if my memory serves me right, then I think in 1958 there was also a Ministry of Community Development and Cooperation. But what we have to understand is, under the Indian Constitution, cooperatives are essentially within the state list, and that is the one of the main reason why it did not continue as Ministry of Cooperation. Separate Ministry of Cooperation did not continue much later. The emphasis was on promoting cooperatives in the states, the central government, and through the 5-year plans. There were enough emphasis towards promoting cooperatives. But coming into the issue of cooperatives itself, internationally there has been different efforts to build cooperatives, especially to bring together workers or peasants to ensure that they can pool in their resources, and whatever production is there, also after marketing of those product, a part of the surplus could be plowed back into the members of the cooperative. So there have been different efforts. Owen's effort has been there, but even if you look at, as far as those on the left are concerned, you had the Paris Commune in 1871, just for about between March and May, how the workers had occupied, had managed to control power in Paris. And within this 2 months, you had them forming labor cooperatives, workers' cooperatives, and that even Karl Marx refers to these cooperatives with a lot of enthusiasm. And he mentions that within the old systems, these are new sprouts of the new. They are the sprouts of the new within the old system. So that is the importance that Marx gave it. We all know later how, after the great socialist revolution, how Lenin's emphasis on cooperatives also, all of us are knowing about it. It is very important to note that when we are talking about these cooperatives, and why I am mentioning about Marx and Lenin, because when you look at cooperatives in India, especially the experience in Kerala, the cooperatives that have emerged um, initially from the social reform movement and also the movement of the left, the communist movement in the state. So, very much rooted in the class struggles of the day. Comrade Anil was mentioning about the Uralungal Labor Contract Cooperative Society. This started in 1925 with a handful of workers coming together, with the social reformer Vagbhatananda giving it guidance, and they pulled in some money in that time's terms, less than $1. And today, like Comrade mentioned, it is the biggest labor contract cooperative society in the entire of Asia. I don't know, it could be also one of the biggest, if not the biggest, maybe the second biggest in the whole world of this kind. So that is how it has grown. If you look at the other cooperatives that have come in Kerala also, you had during the 40s, not just in Kerala, in different parts of India, including in Bengal, you had the condition of famine which was there, the Great Bengal famine we know. But in Kerala, what was the response of the peasant movement there? The peasant movement decided to occupy the granaries of the feudal landlords and distribute grains to the poor um, through what later we can say some predecessors of the ration shops. They also tried to put pressure on the British administration that such ration shops should be started. And Comrade EMS has written about this, how this later also went into becoming cooperatives of the workers and peasants. So this was one such intervention which was there. But later on, you had in 1957, with the first communist government under EMS um, Nambudripad coming to power, the land reforms were also implemented. So when land reforms were implemented, very clearly the Communist Party and the All India Kisan Sabha was clear that it should also be accompanied by building of cooperatives, specifically credit cooperatives, so that the stranglehold of the feudal landlords as well as the usurious money lenders would be broken, so that those who got land, newly got land, would also be able to invest in cultivation, and from that there would be an economic upward mobility. So very early, under leaders like Joseph Mundasheri and others, there was a clear plan about how these cooperatives should be built. Another example which was mentioned by Comrade Anil also here is the Dinesh BD cooperative. The Dinesh BD cooperative was actually a response to the corporate Mangalore Dinesh BD actually closing shop or shifting from Kannur and Kasargod districts. Then the workers came together to form the Dinesh BD Cooperative Society. And later on, once the tobacco restrictions on tobacco came in, you see how they diversified into other things. They diversified into Dinesh Foods, Dinesh Apparel, making good clothing, Dinesh IT, in the IT sector also. It is a BD workers cooperative. You see, in the manner in which they have diversified. Dinesh Auditorium, Dinesh IT in the IT parks, software parks have been created. So this kind of an intervention could also be done. We have the glorious tradition of the Indian coffee house under the leadership of Comrade A.K. Gopalan, which had a network of coffee house across the country run by the workers themselves, and that is also able to counter the corporate intervention in these sectors. Later on, we find that these credit cooperative societies which were there, it is very important, since you are in the banking sector, to note that out of the primary agriculture cooperative societies, two-thirds of the total deposits in this are only in the state of Kerala. That is the, I can be corrected because you may know these sectors better, but from whatever I tried to collect. Now there is a Kerala Cooperative Bank which has brought together the different district cooperatives banks. So the business last year of the Kerala Cooperative Bank was 1,24,000 crores. 1,24,000 crores. It is the biggest that way cooperative in the entire Asia. As a bank, if you look, this kind of business, no other bank has this kind of a business. So that is another thing. There are different banks working now. They are also coming into new areas. That is, rather than just disbursal of affordable credit, they are also trying to enter into the production, processing, value addition, and marketing sector. So this is another level that they are going into. They should have probably gone in much before. It is my opinion that it should have gone in much before. But though late, it is now entering into that sector. When this is happening, there is also an example from other states where there are cooperatives. What is the example from other states? The example from other states is that, especially if you look at Maharashtra, North Indian states, or even Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, the cooperatives are mostly in the control of the rural rich, the erstwhile feudal landlords and their families. Now, also those who are in the political leadership of BJP, Shiv Sena, Indian National Congress, the Janata Dal S, or DMK, or other such, even the BJP in a big way. So that is there. So the difference between the cooperatives in Kerala and this has to be understood. It has to be spoken about to our comrades. What is the difference? One example there is about a Sahia tea cooperative in the book which Comrade Anil was mentioning. Actually, during our All India conference, at Thrissur in 2022, our comrades from Kerala give a lot of gifts to the delegates, different different specialties of the state. For instance, cardamom, pepper, and so on. Along with it, a packet of tea was given. And after the conference, we all returned back. About 2 or 3 months later, I went to Assam, and our Assam comrades inquired, "Where is this tea from? It is better than the Assam tea." So then we tried to find out where the tea was from. Then we got to know the tea was something produced by a cooperative run under the leadership of the All India Kisan Sabha in Idukki district of Kerala. So then we made it a point to go and visit these cooperatives and understand how it is benefiting the farmers, how it is benefiting the workers, and how democratically it is being run. So in Kerala, in all these cooperative sector, whether it is credit cooperatives, service providing cooperatives, or the in the production and sector, they are run in a democratic manner. Now that is something which is not tolerable to the present ruling class. Even earlier there have been, it is not just the present, the ruling class, when I say, whether it was presently BJP or earlier also, there have been some efforts to try and curtail these cooperatives and their. So that is something we have been fighting that. So this is a important issue to understand, that the BJP government today wants to BJP wants to make inroads into a state like Kerala. So it is very important for them to try and dismantle this sector, cooperative sector, where the left has an important influence, the predominant influence. I see this entire um, move to form a Ministry of Cooperation, putting Amit Shah as the minister, as well as this national cooperation policy, all are aimed at primarily against the state of Kerala and the cooperatives there, but also against the other opposition ruled states where the BJP is yet to make a foothold. So they tried different things. It is important to note, Amit Shah also made a claim that only two governments, the Vajpayee government in 2002 and the present government in 2025, has had a vision for cooperatives, and they have come with some national co. But I mentioned earlier how from the early days itself, different 5-year plans have spoken about cooperation. The efforts to build institutions like the NABARD and NCDC and other such organizations have always been there. So this thing under the Indian Constitution, where the state, the cooperatives are under the state list, that has to be somehow done away with. That is the intention. Either, if you look at that, intention did not start now. In 2011 also, though the amendment was if I remember, it's the 97th amendment, if I'm right. So even that, the 97th amendment, while making it a fundamental right and so on, that cooperatives, along with that, there was some effort to infringe on the federal rights of the states. That is where the Supreme Court had to intervene. And Supreme Court judgment is very clear that it is ultra vires null and void, that this comes under the state governments. It is the jurisdiction of the states. Very clearly it's mentioned. Now this national cooperative policy is a move to, through the back door, try and control. They tried different things. They tried the multi-state cooperatives, multi-state cooperative societies. Through that, they tried. What is the situation of the multi-state cooperative societies? It is very important to note because Comrade Anil mentioned rightly that there are about 16,000 registered cooperatives in Kerala. How many multi-state cooperative societies across India? It is below 2,000. But this is the model which the central government initially tried. It is not, they are not making much headway. So now they want some other way to control. I was looking at some of the parliamentary questions and I found that these multi-state cooperatives are also mainly in credit, dairy, and agriculture, mostly in the North Indian states, with few in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And if you look at the background of those who are behind these multi-cooperative societies, also you will find a good number are those with clear links with the BJP RSS. The RSS also has a body called Sahakar Bharti with links in thousands of villages, which it wants to use to spread its Hindutva agenda. That is also something we have to note. But sometimes what happens, even well-meaning people on the left also tend to dismiss this kind of threats. They tend to also dismiss the importance of cooperatives and try to portray as though cooperatives are some utopian ideas that cannot be successful or cannot resist the corporate interventions in these sectors. But if you look at the international experience of cooperatives, there are numerous examples where they could be rally around the workers and peasants, consumer cooperative societies, and so on. Japan is a good example. It's a capitalist state, but numerous consumer cooperative societies which are there. Many other countries have credit cooperative societies which are functioning much more autonomously. There is some example which, for instance, in the coffee sector, a big player in the coffee sector is the companies like Nestle. But you have farmers of Peru, some of the Latin American countries, about 6 or 7 Latin American countries have come together to form the cooperative, which is a branded coffee called Pachamama coffee. So they are able to ensure that the intervention of the corporates, the exploitation of the corporate companies in those areas is countered, and they are having better prices for their produce. And also, once the profits earned, the surplus generated, that is flowed back to the farmers and workers. So these kind of examples are there. The government of India, especially the BJP and the RSS, who are running this government, they have certain experiences from the state of Gujarat. Gujarat, the cooperatives that were built in Gujarat, the dairy cooperatives, were not built by BJP. They were built during different other governments, non-BJP governments, due to the efforts of Dr. Varghese Kurian and others. Now they are trying to portray as though it is this entire idea was from someone like Tribhuvan Das and so on. They have also set up a university, Tribhuvan Das University also, for cooperatives there. But you see, their ground level experience has been In these milk cooperatives, they have been able to intervene politically, and they have been able to also um, mobilize the farmers and workers there in the favor of them politically. So they see these network of cooperatives as having a very great potential in bringing about a political change. And there it is very important for them. The state they are targeting is the left rule state of Kerala. So that's something we have to understand. Many among the left also are not open to this idea of or this danger that is at our doorstep. So, in the name of corruption, in the name of efficiency, in the name of modernizing, these are the, if you look at the new policy, these are the kind of how to make it more transparent, how to make it more efficient, how to modernize. And I was looking at one of the another parliamentary question, and I found, you see the funding that is happening. Where is the funding going? About 10,000 crore to different cooperative sugar mills have been given. Who are these sugar mills? Under whose control? It's all the erstwhile feudal landlord section who are controlling. The BJP, Congress, and other political parties who are controlling it. They have 100% of the benefit has gone to those sugar cooperatives. Another thing I found, they are also insisting on a software. It is called Enterprise Resource Planning Software. And in the parliamentary question, it is clearly mentioned that this is a software for all primary agriculture cooperative credit societies. For what? To capture data on all functionalities of PACS, both credit and non-credit. What is the business of the union government to get these data directly from these? So it is very clearly a sinister move by the BJP government to interfere in the functioning of this. Earlier, under the Congress governments, you had also efforts to undermine the primary agriculture cooperatives. There are more than 60,000 or so packs across the country, but 2/3 of the deposits are in the state of Kerala. So you can understand how vibrant the movement, the cooperative movement in Kerala is. So that is where they are targeting. And it's not just Kerala, it is also the other non-BJP states that they are targeting. Along with that, they also feel by extending this network, they can have a ready, politically committed kind of um, people who would also play a political role when elections come. So this is the understanding that they have. That is why RSS has a separate organization called Sahakar Bharati. That is why Amit Shah has taken over as the Minister of Cooperation, and that is why they have come with this new national cooperative policy. So this is something which has to be understood. And this is a government which has no respect whatsoever for the constitution. They have no respect for federal rights. They are already infringing on the autonomy of all the institutions, including the judiciary, election commission, investigating agencies, and so on. So now they also want to come into this sector. Another aspect of this entire thing is that since primarily it is catering to the agriculture sector, the three farm acts which were brought, that was a clear attempt to corporatize agriculture. Now that we could defeat, then they have come up with a big promotion of farmer producer companies and farmer producer organizations. And their entire intention or approach is to ensure that these FPOs and so on becomes aggregators of raw materials for the big corporate companies. And in the name of removing intermediaries or middlemen, what is happening is directly the corporate companies are coming in control of these um, organizations that are formed. So, this national cooperative policy is also trying to gradually or in a phased manner bring in control of the corporates on this sector. So, that is something that is a big danger which is there. There is absolutely no safeguards for farmers. Um and while this government repeatedly talks about cooperative federalism and so on, we all know that that is only mere rhetoric. So, this is the situation as far as the cooperatives are concerned. Um, we have to draw inspiration from the successful models that have been built in India as well as elsewhere. And then we also need to play a collective role in defending these cooperatives, the cooperative sector. The Banking Employees Federation of India, the BEFI, has an important role to play in this direction. I will conclude here. I, like Comrade Devashish mentioned, I have a, due to the weather conditions here, my throat is also a little. So I would like to conclude my um, talk here. Thank you. I hope all of you will help us, and also unitedly we'll have to fight this. There are different attacks. The labor code has come. Now the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act is being scrapped. Again, there the rights of the states are being denied. Seed bill is coming. Again, in seed bill, there is the rights of the states are not being concerned. The rights of farmers are being attacked. So it is an all-round attack on the working class as well as the peasantry, the producing classes of our country. So it is required that we build strong worker peasant unity to counter these attacks. And surely, if that can be done, no force on this earth can defeat us in this struggle. Thank you all.
Okay, comrade. Thank you very much. As mentioned by Comrade Vijoo Krishnan, you all may be knowing, they were also told first that he is having some health problems today. But despite of that, he came to us, he came to participate in this webinar. He gave a very good lecture to us. Everything it was pointed out. Only one question was there in that chat group. I will just read out this, comrade, that it is whether Kisan Sabha is planning to form farmers cooperatives to resist the attack. That question is there.
Yes, comrade. From the beginning, promotion of cooperatives is something that the Kisan Sabha has taken, given a lot of importance. And from 1936, when the Kisan Sabha was formed itself, cooperatives have been supported, and its importance has been understood. In 1943, in the Bhakna Kalan meeting of the All India Kisan Sabha, also a resolution was passed in favor of. So some of these cooperatives that have been set up in Kerala also are with active intervention and involvement of the Kisan Sabha. But you see, it depends a lot on the situation of the organization in different parts. We have an unevenness in organizational. Kerala is a strong state as far as Kisan Sabha is concerned. There have been some initiatives earlier in Bengal and Tripura, there have been some initiatives. Some initiatives in the education sector in Maharashtra has been there. So, with Kisan Sabha playing a major role. But I feel in the present day and age, it is required to multiply these efforts in a big way. Otherwise, what has happened are small initiatives, much more has to be done. We had an All India workshop on cooperatives a few years back in Hyderabad, and that has we had been able to expose our cadre to the successful models in different parts. This book by the Tricontinental Research Foundation also is a step in that direction. So that we can popularize this. So we are all for it. There are different, in the book we have Sahya Cooperative, but we have Varapati Cooperative, which was in Kerala, in Ernakulam district. We have the Cherudayam Milk Dairy in Kannur district. All these are with active leaders of the Kisan Sabha who are also in the organizing of these committees. There are many other such examples. Thank you.
Okay, comrade, thank you very much. I know your health is not permitting you to talk much. Anyhow, you might have heard how he has explained about this union government, how they are going to enter into state laws, not only state laws, even concurrent laws. They are transferring it to their part. He was also explaining about Dr. Varghese Kurian. He was the father of white revolution, the milkman of India, the architect of Operation Flood. How that man in Gujarat, he has been converted as a, what to say, how that man was treated in his last days, how this Amul, it has been controlled by them, captured by them. How in Gujarat that through cooperative movement, they gained the power and now they are controlling the power. Yes, the union government, the Sangha Parivar union government, actually they want to conquer everything and gave it to the corporates. Anyhow, comrade, for official vote of thanks, I request Comrade Hari Rao, Secretary, Bank Employees Federation of India, to give official vote of thanks. Comrade Hari Rao, please. Comrade Hari Rao.
Yes, comrade.
Okay.
Good evening, comrades. In the international era of cooperatives, today BFI has organized the seminar to be addressed by the All India General Secretary of AIKS, Comrade Vijoo Krishnan. I thank our General Secretary, Comrade Debashis Basu, for giving his introductory speech. And I also thank our President of BFI, Comrade S.S. Anil, for his inputs from different books and his experiences from Kerala. Despite its poor health, throat infection, Comrade Vijoo Krishnan was explaining in detail the cooperative movements not only in India but also across the world, and especially with Latin American countries references. Though cooperative sector is a very big sector and it is being tried to occupied by the BJP government, less is known about among our comrades what is happening in cooperative sector. So this webinar is really an eye-opener for all of us. And definitely our comrades will go deep into the aspects of the cooperative movement and they will definitely be inspired by this speech and they will go to the books published by the Tricontinental and other things. I thank Comrade Vijoo Krishnan in spite of his, despite his poor health and busy schedule, he has attended this seminar and given a very simple language and a detailed speech. Thank you, Comrade Vijoo Krishnan. And I also thank our Kerala BFI, Kerala comrades for this providing this Zoom platform for conducting the seminar. I thank all the participants and comrades who attended this seminar and thank you one and all on behalf of myself and on behalf of BFI. Thank you, comrades.